edition of the Contractor's Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
Before we get into the conversation with you, I just want to do a shout out to our sponsors who help promote Contractor's Secret Weapon and just some of the things that they have in store for you, our listeners. Hey, is your phone ringing enough? Do you want it to ring more with highly motivated and qualified buyers that contact you, the contractor, directly? No more waiting for the phone to ring. Just answer that phone. Best Home Services leads are dedicated to making your phone ring with motivated buyers that call you directly. There's no obligation to talk with them. Just go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/money. Fill out the form to secure your discount on the setup fee. Do it today. This special will not last forever. Check them out at ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/money.
Running a small business is no easy task, and I should know because I had a service company for almost 10 years. I am the founder of a software called Radius Bomb, and it's unbelievable. And for all the listeners of Contractor's Secret Weapon, we have a special offer for you to check out. If you want to send hyper-targeted, laser-focused, super personalized postcards to your exact prospects using a map while sitting in your underwear, then go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb, and we'll give you your first 100 postcards for free. Just go to ContractorsSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb.
Hey, Dave Negri here, Contractor's Secret Weapon, your host here today, and I'm just so glad you can be with us. And we are on day 4 of our series on 20 marketing mistakes keep from crippling your business with these marketing mistakes. So we want to get you past the hump. We want you to become profitable. And today we are on mistake number 8. The failing to use testimonials. Okay, so testimonials is, man, so many people say, how do you get testimonials? How do I get testimonials? Why do I get testimonials? But more so, how do I get testimonials? Well, I'm going to tell you the importance of them, and we're going to show you how to get them in this episode today. And, of course, remember that on week 5, which is next week, I'll have the whole report ready and uploaded onto the show notes page so that you can get your copy of everything we talked about. And there's a ton of worksheets in there, like here's a testimonial letter that we put together. So testimonials is one of the most powerful tools that any business owner can use, but it's also one of the most underutilized. They're not limited to any one type of advertising or any promotional media. So you can put them in your ads, your radio announcements, if you got newspaper layouts, especially if you're doing stuff on a large scale. But you can put them in your postcards, on your website, in all of your marketing, because they are your silent salespeople. And actually, they're not really so silent because they're there. People really take notice that you have someone that give you a testimonial, but it's an endorsement rather than a testimonial. But the principle is pretty much the same. It happens when another person makes a positive statement or a recommendation about a certain product or service you did. In marketing, sometimes known as creating herd mentality, Robert Cialdini talks about in the principle of consciousness. That is, if other people who are like me say this product or service is good, it improves the probability that it will be good for me too. See the psychology behind it. Celebrity endorsements are simply another form of testimonial and are very, very effective. If a certain well-known actor or celebrity says something is good, then it must be good. Therefore, I should give it a try. So most people know that in like commercials or endorsements, the actor is reading a prepared script written, by professional copywriters that are getting paid to do that. But still, in a certain amount of credibility to when the actor says, in sufficient numbers, that this product is good. Well, your own clients become the best sources of your endorsements that you could possibly want, especially if they're known to those you're marketing to, or if something else is in common with them. People that live in the same town, have similar businesses, belong to the same organization or association, same neighborhoods, like in your postcards or your mailing, say, hey, we just did Bob Jones. He was very happy, and he said to reach out to all the people in his neighborhood to let him know that. So you have to get his okay to do that. But you see where I'm going with that? And even in community, now in so many communities, they have Facebook groups. And what you want to do is you want to get that customer to not only give you a review, maybe on Google reviews page or local listings, but it's more powerful if they can write you a testimonial and put it in on their local, Facebook community page, because everyone in the community knows that you've been working there. That is an awesome. If you haven't thought about that, do it. Because that's where you're going to get a ton of work, especially if you want to own a community. So there's only 3 reasons people don't buy from you. They have no use for your product or service, or they can't afford your product or service, or you haven't developed a level of trust and believability with them in you to do the business with you. So there's so much you can do if a prospect can't use or pay for your service. There's nothing you can do about that. But there is a lot you can do to wipe away the underlying layers of skepticism, and that's through personal testimonials. Because really, no one likes to be the first person to do something. No one likes to be the first person to try something, because we feel like we're the guinea pig. So, and really testimonies are not hard to get. One of the most effective ways it is to send users of your products or service a questionnaire, and I've got an example in here in this workbook for you. And that's what I've always done. Is I've always sent a questionnaire on did we do the job that you thought we expected us to do? Did you what were some of the things that you were afraid of when signing up? Because that's really a big thing. Did we do everything to your satisfaction or beyond? And so basically when you send them a customer survey, and I always do it by mail because it's more personal and I know that they get it. So what I would do is I would create the form and I would send it to them in a self-stamped envelope. That's going to increase your rate. And then a lot of times too is if you do an email, if you want to email them also, it's up to you. Some people are lazy. I would rather get the personal touch. But for some people, and I've done it this way too, is I will write the review based on what they said to me about how they liked our service, something special we did for them that they liked, and I will put it in an email with a link to my Google reviews page and say, thanks so much for doing business with us. We really appreciate you. And would you be so kind as to click this link and give us a Google review? And this is below is what I heard you say. Feel free to change it any way you want. And it makes it easy for them. The easier that you can make it for them by putting together the testimonial, by putting a self-addressed stamped envelope, are going to increase your odds so much for getting that review. And so the cool thing is, now when you get the testimonials back and when you get the Google reviews, you can just cut and paste that onto a piece of paper and bring it with you when you're doing proposals. Say, here's what some people said about us. Here's what some other people said about us. And a lot of times now I'll take those and I'll stick 3 or 4 of them together in a section. Like if I'm doing painting, I'll do my painting surveys that I've had, and if we do some brush cleaning, there'll be some brush clean surveys on how we did, and and so on. You see where I'm going with that. So, and then I'll put 3 or 4 of them. When I give them the proposal, it's in there so that they know, hey, other people like me, and they may know them, especially if they're in that area. Okay, another cool way to get testimonials is you can call your customer and record it. Just let them know you're recording it and ask them, about how you did and stuff like that, and then put that on your website. Or have it transcribed even, which is kind of easy, and then you can put them wherever you want. You put it in your proposal packet. You can put it on your website. You can do whatever you want with it. These are just some different things that really you can do to exponentially grow your testimony base. Okay, one more thing on testimonies. If you're in an interaction with them, you don't want they did a great job. They were very good, better than I expected. You want to put a little bit of detail in there, like they saved me $500. Not necessarily, but you see where I'm going with that? They did the extra things above and beyond whatever we expected them to do. Now that's an awesome testimony. We just had one. My mom, we just did this lady's house, and I asked her for a testimony because she just raved. And not because, we did a great job, yes, but she was excited that it was her mom's house, and her mom would always throw people off the property because she thought they were there too long. She didn't realize that she thought they were getting paid by the hour. We weren't getting paid by the hour. She told her we gave her a contract price, and we were going to stay there until we got it and done, and the lady was excited. And one day, the daughter who was taking care of the project said to me, she says, "My mom really loves you." She says, "You really love your job." And I go, "Why does she say that?" "Because you're just taking so much time to be meticulous." And I said, "Isn't that kind of funny?" Because she was throwing everybody else off the property because they were taking too long, and she just loved us for some reason, which I'll take it. And she wrote us an awesome review on our Google reviews page. So use testimonials. Get them and make them part of your standard operating procedure, because those reviews, those testimonials are like cash in the bank. Those are your salespeople who are going out before you and giving you credibility to whatever you're doing, whatever business you're in. Okay, we're at marketing mistake number 9, failing to establish and obtain referrals. Man, this is such a big one that most people will just miss it. Getting referrals from users of our services and our products is one of the quickest and most painless ways to get business. Now, granted that it's not consistent, but it's like, I always call it gravy money. If you can get a bunch of them to come in on a regular basis, you don't depend on it, but it is added growth to your revenue. So, but if you don't have a system, and that's how everything grows in your business, is through systems, then you're just going to suck a hind one. So, referrals are simply happy and satisfied customers telling others about their positive experience with you, or giving permission to contact other people in their name, which is kind of cool. And a lot of times, if I would have someone call and introduce me, then I'll contact them. So it doesn't have to be hard. It's just a system. And if you don't have a system in place, like I said before, then you're really sucking a hind one, because this is a revenue builder for your business, and so many people are really missing it. So there's a 4-step system, and it could be more, but we're going to cut it down to 4. It says earn the right to referrals by providing exceptional service. Not great service, not good service, but exceptional service. In order to have a raving fan, you have to do things differently than everyone else. You have to go the extra mile, give the extra, whatever it may be, an extra tweak to what you're doing. I know of one guy has a crew that does remodeling and handyman stuff, and what he does is he devotes the last half hour of the day to doing things for the customer that just wasn't on the list. Man, we got an extra half hour. We're getting paid. Bob says that, what is there that we can help you with to just get a couple of little things out of the way. Now, that is exceptional service. And even, here's an exceptional thing that you can do is send them a gift, thanking them for doing business with you. No one does that. Almost no one does that. Matter of fact, the percentages are so low, we can basically say that no one does that. But I know your competition doesn't do that. So the next one is ask for the referral from your satisfied customer. Okay, one way is just simply ask, who might be candidates for your service. Now, I know that you might feel a little awkward about asking for a referral, but you know what? You've done a great job. You should be happy with what you've done, and you should be looking at it this way. I do a great job, and anyone who uses my service will be greatly benefited by what I do, so why wouldn't I want others to lead me in a direction that they could help their friends also by the use of my service? It's that simple. It's just really looking at it from a different point of view. You could send a campaign, a postcard campaign every couple months of asking, say, hey, do you know anybody that's looking for our, for our services or types of service, whatever you're doing. So the reward is another one. Man, I'm telling you, this is really a kicker that no one, I'm going to go no one, but the percentages are so small that most people don't even think about this. Someone gives you a referral, you need to say thank you. It could be a real estate agent, it could be a past customer or client, it could be a friend. You just need to either call them and say thank you so much for referring us to your friend, because listen, they're telling their customer when they refer you that, hey, I trust Dave and he's going to do the best job he can for me. So that's a big step for them to even refer you. But send them a gift too. Send them a thank you card. I know one of the things that I do for fun when I get a referral from a non-customer, I'll just send them a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card. Thanks so much for, trusting us with your client's best interest. I want you to, thank you with this Starbucks card. Go get a cup of coffee on us, and I'll even give them a lottery ticket and say, hey, we haven't got the job yet, but hopefully you'll win some money out of this, and maybe you could take us both out to dinner. Just have some fun with it, really. So there has to be rewards. Could be discounts or free merchandise. One of the things about your customers is, for referral's sake, you could give a discount to any new customers that they refer you. However, they will also get the same discount. Say, I'm always want to think about the person who's referring me too. However you want to do it, but just think about ways that you can be different than everyone else, that simple extra steps that makes you outstanding service, that gives you outstanding service. So really, whatever the reward is, it doesn't have to be grand or costly. It just needs to be sincere and timely, and show that you really do appreciate the confidence that they put in you to refer you. And so show it in the gift and name the person that you can contact. So I always say, thank you, Bob, for referring Joe. I really appreciate you trusting us with your friend, and we promise to treat him as well as we did you. Something to that effect. So number 4 part of this is next. You've earned the right to ask for the referrals from your customers or clients. Then ask them and follow up with a reward for their help. You're in the perfect position to ask them for more help. Ask them as help. But you know what? Something we probably didn't even touch on, and as far as the mindset goes, is that you've earned the right to ask them for a referral, because you did give them. And they let you know about how well that you did. Remember, you have to be exponentially great. You have to go above and beyond what everyone else is doing. And, in this marketplace, that's really not a whole lot. So, after all, if you were in your client's shoes and you've gotten great service from someone you've done business with, you'd like people to know and receive the same service, wouldn't you? Of course you would. Especially if you've been thanked in some way and shown that you were helpful and appreciated. Listen, competition is fierce in the marketplace today. You know that. And you have to get past the price. So there's often little difference between competing products, services, and prices, but getting referrals from your clients can no longer be considered a luxury, a nice thing to do. It is a must to help you build your business. So listen, I did to get some more stuff on referrals. Go to episode 177 with Stacy Brown Randall. She was awesome. She, first year in business, she did 112 referrals without even asking for them. And actually, I just did a webinar not too long with her, and for another business I used, and so she said that we can put it up on the website. So after the first of the year, we'll get that up and ready. Okay, now we're marketing mistake number 10. Not cross-selling or upselling or having a back end. So this is so important that, you know, sometimes we get stuck and we give them a proposal and we don't try to sell them anything else, or we don't notice anything else that needs to be done around the house, and or we cross-sell or have other products and services that we can sell in conjunction with what we're offering. So, you know, when we're marketing or doing a promotion for our business, it can be costly. For some businesses, the money it takes to get a prospect in the door or to get you in the prospect's door and to get them to respond to our ads sometimes is more than is made on the total profit for the sale. Now, by design, lots of companies do that. I'm not going to recommend that, but you know, if you have to, I want you to think about the long-term benefit of them doing business with you, which we call the lifetime value, and we're going to talk about that next, I think. So a lot of businesses look at spending money on marketing as a negative or a wash, so they don't aggressively engage in it. But marketing doesn't have to be a business cost. It's literally an investment. And anything that costs you for your business is really a bad way to look at it, and a lot of times it's a negative way to look at it. Because most of the things that we do for our business, and I'm not going to say all, but most, are investments into the future of growth of our business. So we have to look at what kind of return are we really going to get on it. But, you know, in lots of instances, so there's 4 primary ways to build a business. 1 is to get more customers. 2 is to get customers to buy more. 3, to get customers to buy more often. And number 4, extend your customers' buying lifetime. Like I said, the lifetime value. So for now, let's limit our discussion to item number 2, how to get customers to buy more. Well, we've already established that the most cost-effective way to do business, and so if you want your business to grow, really grow, and do it in the least painful way, then with maximum results and minimum costs, you need to establish a systematic way to get people to upgrade their purchase or to buy additional products. So it's going in with one thing and upgrading to another. Not a switch, bait and switch, but just a progressive increase. So people go through the variety of emotions prior to, during, and after a purchase, especially a large purchase. So in the time leading up to the purchase, they go through a phase of excitement. You've been through there. The anticipation on what the service is going to, or product's going to do for them. And then sometimes they even go through periods of skepticism or doubt. But that's if the person really wants your offering. Those feelings are pushed aside, and excitement and anticipation will take over. So the only time, most of the time, you're going to get, when we're talking about buyer's remorse here, is when you force them into the sale. But if you've done such a great job that they've sold themselves, then there's never going to be buyer's remorse. So in feeling, you know, a lot of times that can be overcome when you talk about the benefits of using your products or service. So at the end of the sale, your customer is probably the happiest and the most pleased with you and your relationship than at any other time. See, that's kind of weird because you would have thought it would have been after you did the services, but they're excited. Now they've got, you're solving their problem, and you're the man or the woman that's going to take care of that. So they're so happy that they've said yes to their offer, and they've even reached into the pockets of the person to open up their wallets and checkbook and giving you some of their hard-earned money as a deposit. Or so, depending on the size of the purchase, it could be a lot of their money. So you've just solved their problem for them, like I said. So this is the ideal time when they're most pleased with you and when you've come to their rescue for you to recommend other options or additional purchases. Okay, so here's what it is in a nutshell. Someone just purchased from you, or they made an agreement to pay for you, buy your services or pay for your services, order it, however you want to say it. this is really the best time because they're to upgrade the service, to sell them something else, because they have already mentally in the buying mode. So you can upsell. So if you're just painting walls, you might suggest painting the trim. If you're doing pressure cleaning the driveway, you might do pressure cleaning the house or the pool cage. Just, simple add-ons that, because they've called you for one thing, doesn't mean that they're not willing to do something else, because they're in the buying mode. That's the cool thing. So any upgrades or additional sales that you make now are just pure profit, since there's no advertising costs, there's no overhead expenses that were used to create the sale. You're already there. There's no going back. Do you see where we're going with that? So if it's really in their best interest to purchase from you, then you have a moral obligation to see that they get the very best use of that product or service. And it means you may have to make other products available for them to purchase. How cool is that? So next one is marketing mistake number 11, and that is tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about mistake number 11 and a couple others, but not calculating the lifetime profit value of your customer. Man, this is so missed by so many people, because most people are transactional. And we want to get you past that. We want to get you into making a profit today, tomorrow, the next day, and forever with the same customers. So come back tomorrow and the next episode, and we will start the day 5 of the series. Again, I want to thank you for joining us and investing your time with us today. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, go to iTunes and give us a shout out. You can also go to our website, www.contractorsecretweapon.com, and check out today's episode and leave us a comment in the bottom of the page. And if you haven't gotten your 15 secret weapon strategies to getting higher-end customers, get it while you're at the website. Also, I want to thank again our sponsors for keeping this podcast alive for your profit-making pleasure. And so go be profitable this week. Work smarter, not harder, and learn how to leverage your time and your knowledge so that you can be more profitable. Again, see you next week.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractor's Secret Weapon podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorsecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you are listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractor's Secret Weapon podcast.